Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Women in Quantum Computing. Today, March the 10th, 2023. I am so happy that you are here. Please tell me, where are you connecting from? Tell me in the chat, please. I would like to read your message in the chat. Where are you connecting from in this international event? Today we have very committed women, wonderful women, Sahar, Elisa, Claudia, and Lorraine. And we are going to present them briefly. And now we are going to show you what is Silver Quality Consulting. We are professionals who are very committed with education, statistics and data science, quantum computing and tech, organization development and emotional paycheck, and finally, quality and process-based management. And for me, it's a privilege to collaborate in Silver Quality Consulting as CEO. And let me introduce myself a little bit more. I study computer engineering at SPOL University in Ecuador, and I study statistics and quality too. And in 2020, I knew about quantum computing with Sahar, Lorraine, and Claudia at QWorld and at IBM. And since that time, I become passionate about learning this field because I strongly believe this, that quantum is the new language to learn, as Araceli Vanegas Gomez said. And for that reason, Silver Quality Consulting is organizing some events to educate people in Spanish and English. Today, in commemoration of March Women History Month, I thank the opportunity to moderate this event, Conversations with Women in Quantum Computing. There's going to be several rounds to answer questions or comment about a specific topic. Our panelists will have up to 3 minutes to talk in each round. I have the honor to present my colleagues in the stage. They are going to be appearing. Let me see. Yeah. Thank you again for being connected, and thank you. Please share in the chat from what country are you connecting from? We see Ecuador participants, Ecuadorian participants. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being connected from Ecuador, and participants from the United States too, and from Tunisia, from Zimbabwe and Mexico too, which are the countries of our panelists. Okay, very nice. I would like to express my respect and my admiration feelings to these guys, to these women, because they are very intelligent and very talented. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation of being here. And first of all, I would like to introduce yourself, Sahar Ben Reich from Tunisia. She is PhD candidate in quantum computer architecture at UPC. And Sahar, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you so much, Wendy. So first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me for the panel, and all the best with the project. And I'm very happy to be part of your first steps. So my name is Sahar bin Rashid. I'm originally from Tunisia, and I'm now a first-year PhD candidate in Universidad Politécnica de Catalunya in Barcelona, Spain. And my focus is on quantum computer architecture. So our research is mainly focused on how we can scale quantum computers in terms of technology infrastructure in order to host a large number of qubits, so thousands to millions. How are we going to do that? Which is the ultimate goal of building quantum computer and unlock its computational power. And I'm also the co-founder of Q Tunisia since September 2020. It's the first quantum computing centered community in Tunisia, and our activity is focused on education and outreach because we also believe that quantum computing is becoming one of the essential skills for anyone who would like to be involved with technology development. So we do that mainly through workshops and talks, and we are very happy to extend our community even beyond Tunisia and to help build other local communities around the world in Africa, but also in Latin America and even in Europe. So yes, I'm also a Qiskit advocate, which is a network of professionals and enthusiasts affiliated to IBM Quantum. And through my diverse experiences, I hope today I can inspire you to pursue also a career in quantum computing.
Thank you so much, Sahar. And now we have Claudia Sendejas Morales from Mexico. She is Qiskit advocate and teacher assistant at UNAM. Claudia, how do you introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Thank you very much for having me. As you said, I am a Qiskit advocate. I am also a physicist and a computer engineer. I'm finishing my undergrad thesis right now, and I am going to participate in the PSI START program by the Perimeter Institute since next May, working as a research intern. Well, I learned about quantum computing initially during my quantum mechanics courses at my faculty. However, I have deepened the subject thanks to various online courses. So I consider that my most significant training has been thanks to these courses. Some have taken with QWorld, of course, other thanks to IBM Quantum Summer Schools, as well as EDX platforms or Coursera, MidX Pro. And recently I finished the MicroMasters program called Quantum Technology Computing by Purdue University. I will continue my studies in quantum computation. I plan to start my master's degree at Waterloo University next year. I am an instructor and teacher assistant in some quantum computing courses from QWorld, some at graduate level from Latvia University and New York University, Abu Dhabi. As a Qiskit advocate, I collaborate in some events organized by IBM, such as the Quantum Challenges or the Quantum Explorers program and the Fall Fest. Also, I am part of the Qiskit localization core team, and I am the leader for the Spanish translations for Qiskit also.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Very, very nice. And now we have Lorraine Tsitsi from Zimbabwe, and she is president at One Quantum Africa. Lorraine, tell us more about you, please.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. Like you mentioned, my name is Lorraine Tsitsumaji. I'm a recent graduate with a bachelor's degree in information technology. I also work part-time as a quantum development researcher at Stafford Computing, which is a quantum machine learning company. I'm also like you rightfully mentioned, the president for One Quantum Africa, which is our community effort to build an African quantum ecosystem and help expose other Africans to opportunities in quantum, either after getting education about it or even at their initial state. So our efforts are just to build friendly ecosystem, quantum ecosystem for Africans together. I am also a co-founder of Q Zimbabwe, thanks to Saha, who helped with that process. So we have Q Zimbabwe, which is focused on creating awareness and educating Zimbabweans in terms of quantum computing, and we're happy to be able to be starting our first in-person events this year, given that the world is opened up after COVID. So we're happy to have that rolling and trying to create more opportunities for other Zimbabweans. I'm also a Q board member, so I work mainly as a Q Cousins coordinator. So that has been interesting to connect and also create more quantum awareness through education and various other avenues that people could take in quantum.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. We are so excited that you all are here. We feel honored with your presence, and we are going to know more about you. And our fourth panelist is Elisa Torres from Chile. She couldn't be here live, but she told us, I want to participate. I want to share my experience with the audience. And of course, we said, yes, of course. And we are going to see a video from Elisa. Let me show you what Elisa is sharing with us.
Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing great. I am Elisa, and well, I'm introduce myself later. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. I'm so glad to be here, also sharing with other people, wonderful women in quantum computing. So Wendy, Sahar, Claudia, and Lorraine, super happy. Yeah, you're so talented. So unfortunately, I'm not able to be there because I will be traveling back to Chile. But yeah, really thankful for the invitation, and I hope that this video could be helpful in any way. And yeah, now I'll introduce myself. So I am Elisa Tartournay. I'm 17 years old and I am a Chilean student. And I'm the founder of Girls in Quantum. And yeah, super happy to be here. So Girls in Quantum is an international organization. I'm really happy to say that. And our main goal is to provide free educational resources about quantum computing to students and girls mainly, in order to involve them in the field of quantum computing or STEM. Yeah, I'm really lucky because I have a wonderful team from 10 countries, so I'm really happy about that. And we have impacted around 1,000 students. So yeah, 1,000 students and females. So that's wonderful for me and all the team to be like involving them in this field that has a lot to offer, honestly. In terms of, well, I'm going to read the other question. So how quantum computing has contributed to my role. So it says as a professional woman, but since I am a student, I will respond it that way. So as a student, I would say that it has completely changed my perspective on technology by itself. So before the pandemic, I was like, what quantum computing is. I had no idea about quantum computing, honestly. And I'm still learning, and that's good. And yeah, I think that besides of like learning, I had the opportunity to get involved in quantum computing by this course called Introduction to Quantum Computing, and I had the opportunity to receive a full scholarship from IBM. So I was like, wow, this is so cool that I'm going to have this opportunity. And yeah, I started learning about this, and I spent 8 months learning about quantum computing with IBM and with other organizations. So it was like, wow, mind blowing for me. And afterwards, I want to do something. So I really didn't want to like stay there and okay, I learned this, and now what, right? So I started sharing some videos and then calling some of my friends from the program to help me, like, perhaps do something else, like an initiative or something like that. And that's how Girls in Quantum was founded. Like, I just wanted to ask them, like, perhaps we can do something to inspire more females to become involved in quantum computing, because in my class I had like fewer, I don't know, like women five girls that were in my class of technology class. So I was like, I want to do something, and that's how everything started. So my friends from different countries started to join. It was from this program from IBM. They started to join, and we were like, okay, we're going to do these things, like these posts, these seminars, and yeah, that's how everything is going on right now. Um, I'm right now in Canada for an event for women in science to share while we're doing research in quantum. So that's really amazing for me.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Elisa Torres Dunay. She is founder Girls in Quantum, and she is studying as Cambridge Research Scholar, and is a very, very inspiring history, because she is 17 years old. Yes, and I think that it's a very good opportunity for young people. Yes, for young people to be inspired in this field. Okay, and let's continue. Let's continue, because I feel honored again for being with you, these wonderful women. Okay, and now we are going to start with our first round of questions, which is how quantum computing has contributed to your role as a professional woman. This is the question, and I would like to start with Sahar. Sahar, please, could you share with us your opinion?
Yes, sure. So I've always been interested in physics, so it was a passion of mine since I was a young child, and that passion actually influenced my decision to even pursue a scientific career afterwards. And even though I loved physics with all its aspects and subfields, but quantum computing was not actually on my list until I discovered it. So it was completely by chance. It was my first experience with quantum computing was the IBM Qiskit Africa Hackathon back in Johannesburg in 2019, which was by complete coincidence. I was just recommended to be part of that hackathon, and even though I did not do much, because honestly I didn't know what quantum computing was at that point, and there was only one course on Coursera to be introduced to quantum computing, so almost no resources at all. But it was very nice, and I was in like direct contact with IBM quantum researchers, and everyone was talking about how this is the future, and they had like very nice chandelier that was like a quantum computer representation or something. And yes, it was my very first encounter with the field, and honestly I was very, very impressed, and I found it as a field that was at the intersection of all my interests, which were mainly math, physics, and computer science. And afterwards, the pandemic came, and I was very lucky to have the access to all the resources that were coming with IBM summer schools, but also many courses were coming up, and also my studies. So I already started my master's by then, and I was being introduced to research. And since I was doing physics and I liked quantum computing, so why not mix the both? So it was my very first choice for research from the beginning, as I started research through my master's. And I'm very happy with that. Even after 3 years, I still think that I made a very good choice with the field, because I'm following the process for 3 years now, and I'm very optimistic about the future of the technology, even though I'm very well aware of the challenges that we still have and we are still going to have for the next few years. But still, it's a very exciting field, and I hopefully that I will have a successful and long career in it. I'm very excited for that. And so I would say that discovering the field was very, very influential for me, and the idea that I am at this time taking part in a new revolution in technology and a new paradigm for computation is such a privilege, I would say, because there is still a lot to learn, and you can contribute a lot to this field. And probably many people started with projects, with very small projects, and now they are choosing quantum computing as their main career aspiration. And I've seen a lot of examples of people choosing quantum computing when they also started like me with just a simple hackathon. So I hope that will also be the story of many people, and I'm very excited to see the community growing every day.
Thank you so much, Sahar. Very, very interesting to know that you have been involved in several fields in quantum computing. It's amazing to know that you started in 2019, and I feel very, very inspired by you, because I started in 2020, 1 year after, and it's highly impressive that I met you as a professor with an introductory course about quantum computing. I feel so glad about this, and thank you for sharing. And now, Claudia, in the same sense, how quantum computing has contributed to your role as a professional woman?
Yeah, well, when I discovered this somehow new discipline, I love it because it combines my two great passions, computing and physics. So I knew I wanted to dedicate myself to quantum computing. As I have learned about the subject, I have seen that what I like the most about it is the theory behind this discipline. So what I want to, so that's, I knew that is the thing that I want to dedicate myself to this field is about research, and I am already doing what is necessary to continue my graduate studies and be able to create a career in research. I know that that it is possible to work in the industry, since many companies are dedicated to quantum computing, have emerged and continue to emerge, and therefore require a lot of talent that knows this discipline. But in my particular case, it is not the path I want to pursue. I prefer to belong to an academic institution where I can be a researcher on this subject. I have had the opportunity to collaborate in different communities. In some of them, I have helped others to learn about this technology, and it has made me grow a lot because I learn more when answering questions from interested people, since that has forced me to go further beyond what I consider I already knew and look for more details to be able to explain better. I believe that learning to explain a subject is an excellent way to improve oneself on that subject, so I highly recommend it. Well, in my learning journey, I became a Qiskit advocate and obtained the Qiskit certification as part of the process. From a professional point of view, this certification, I think, is becoming more and more recognized by the industry, as IBM has been the first company to devise a way to validate your knowledge in quantum computing. So if anyone is interested in pursuing a professional career in this area, getting this certification is a good way to start.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And it's very, very challenging for me to follow your steps too, because I met Claudia at the same time in 2020 in a workshop with World, and it was amazing that she had a lot of patience with me, because at that time I were with my first steps in quantum, and everything I didn't know, I asked Claudia, because each other we speak Spanish, and the event was 100% in English, and I understood maybe the 80% and the another 20% that I didn't understand. I asked Claudia, please, what is happening? And we communicated in Spanish. And I really want to thank Claudia because she inspired me to continue in this field, and she has taught me a lot. Thank you so much, Claudia, for sharing. And now Lorraine, what about you? How quantum computer has contributed in your personal life as a professional woman?
I guess for me, I never did physics. I was just never passionate about it. So through high school, college, I mean, one or two things, like maybe how electricity is generated were just, things that were compulsory, but I never really did physics, and I never gave it a second chance. So when I bumped into, my passion was always in computing from a very young age in primary school. So when I accidentally, which was the best accident ever, bumped into quantum, I realized that physics was very interesting. And at that point, I thought, if I could turn back the clock, I would have, I've done it. But I mean, it's not too late anyway. So that was the time I decided to actually invest into learning more about quantum mechanics, and because for me, when the more I would learn about the physics behind it, it made the computations that I was most interested in, it made more sense and made it more interesting. So for me with quantum, it has opened so many doors for me. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity that, during COVID, I had internet access, I had electricity, I had all the resources that enabled me to actually learn online. Because if it wasn't for quantum, I would not be here today. I would not have connected with such amazing people. I would not have had the opportunity to learn about things that are happening at a global level, because maybe I would have just stuck to what I like. So for me, quantum has helped me develop even as a leader, because I would not have, the reason why I lead is because of quantum. If there was no quantum, then there would not be maybe one quantum Africa, and that way I would not have had that opportunity to lead. I would not have had that opportunity to connect with other people. So quantum has, in a sense, opened so many doors for me. That has helped me to be a leader. It has helped me with my communication skills. It has helped me build the confidence to be able to speak in front of people, because sometimes it's not everyone who is just born as a natural orator, but those are some skills that I've developed through quantum. So my hope is that many other women also get the same opportunity, get so many other doors open for them, despite their background, because that's the beauty of quantum, that I don't have a physics background, but I've managed to learn so much. I've managed to find that I'm interested in machine learning. There's quantum machine learning, so there's more like there's a space for everyone in the quantum ecosystem.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. I remind you because when I was lost in the event, I remember Lorraine always rescue me, and she is a very, very servant leader. I admire her because she is a servant leader, and she has shown us how to start serving people and then to achieve a leader position. And thank you so much, Lorraine, for sharing those experiences. Oh wow, I am very, very excited and committed to continue in this field with these amazing women. Okay, now do you consider learning about quantum computer essential nowadays? I would like to start with Lorraine.
Well, with learning about quantum computing, like what Sai has mentioned, that so much development has happened in the space, and there's so much potential, and could not ignore that there are also challenges that come with it. I would think that it's essential if you know how to, if you want to solve certain problems in the areas that it can be effective, then yes, because, you know, it's capable, and there is potential for certain change to be brought with it. So once you know it, it's good to, you'll be able to solve those problems. I always am for the notion that, you know, why everyone should be able to learn about it is because if you are going to use a quantum computer, for example, to maybe solve problems relevant to you, the problems that are faced in Africa are different from the problems in Europe. So it needs Africans to solve the African problems. So we need to learn it. It's essential for us to learn it so that we are able to solve those African problems, for example. So in such a scenario, I would deem it essential for people to give it a shot and learn about it.
Thank you, Lorraine. What do you think about this, Sahar?
Yeah, so about this question, I already told you, Wendy, that it wasn't a straightforward or easy question to answer because like already Lorraine mentioned, like quantum computing will not solve all the problems. It's only beneficial for certain type of problems. And today, it's not an integral part of technology development. Quantum computing is still at the early stage of development and still in the research and exploration stage. And we are still years ahead from industrial adoption and maybe longer years to the mass adoption of the technology. And of course, quantum computers will never replace classical computers. So in the sense that nowadays it's essential to learn about quantum computing because we need to attract talent to the field in order to work more on the problems and to accelerate the technology development. But it would be a bit difficult to convince, I would say, to convince anyone to do quantum computing because you would need a career in research, and that's not for everyone. That's not the first choice of many people of today. Maybe engineering and more accessible and more attractive and more in-demand technologies would be more relevant for a choice of career today, such as data science or AI or anything alike. And so quantum computing is at a very, I would say, sensitive position. We need people. We need to drive more talent to the field. We need more minds and brilliant people who are dedicated to the research and who really want to be part of this technology development, which is still gonna take years in order to achieve the level that we want. And at the same time, it's still not in demand at this point. Of course, there are companies and there are research centers and there are a lot of projects being developed, but it's still very challenging to attract people because there are more accessible technologies and careers out there other than quantum computing. So maybe I said many things, but in conclusion, it's very difficult to say yes or no, because quantum computing, it's not an integral part of industry and research yet, of industries yet, especially like big industries and the job market and the commercial market. So that's why it only attracts the people who believe in science and who want to have a career in science and who really want to be dedicated for research career. And that's not what everyone wants to do. And that's actually very rare to find, even professors in universities and supervisors in research centers. They always say the same thing. It's very hard today to convince students to pursue PhD rather than to follow an industry career. And I think there are many reasons to that, but we're not going to discuss research versus industry because that's another debate. So what I want to say is that I would say it's a very interesting field and it's essential to learn if you are a person who is really passionate about science and technology development. And quantum computing is one of the technologies for the future. So it would be very beneficial and of a great value to know about this field because it's, like I said, it's very interesting. It's a very vibrant community. It's very welcoming community. There's a lot to discover, and there's a lot of contributions that you can do as a scientist or as an engineer who is driven towards research. And hopefully we will find more people of this profile, or we can of course inspire more people to pursue this type of career. So it's essential if you want to do it. So it's very difficult to answer the question with yes or no answer. But I hope that I got a clear answer in the end.
Very clear, Sahar. Thank you so much. And now, Claudia, what is your opinion about essential quantum computing knowledge?
Well, essential today, I think not really, because it's not yet that technology that is permeated multiple aspects of our lives. Unlike classical computing, which is a technology that many people use every day at different levels, it is essential to know about this classical technology. We should at least know how to use it, while we should not necessarily know how to program it. However, I think it is a skill that we should learn as children, even if we won't dedicate ourselves to programming professionally. So on the other hand, quantum computing has a slightly higher level of difficulty. And since it is not used on a day-to-day basis, I don't consider it essential. Who knows if it will be in the future, but for now, it doesn't seem so to me. Learning new things that are not essential will always require a certain level of passion, as mentioned by Sahar. And if you don't have it, you will hardly learn about that new thing. I believe that there where quantum computing is I think that's the point where quantum computing is right now. We have two primary levels of learning in quantum computing. The first one is to learn how to use it. And for that, the libraries are encapsulating more and more details of the implementations over time. And the second level is to learn how it works in the background, which requires knowledge of various disciplines such as mathematics, physics, computing, mainly. Hence, I believe that patience is needed for be able to address these technical issues without giving up in the attempt. But if you only want to learn how to use it, then the first step is to learn how to program classical computers, and then learn how to use quantum computing. It would be like learning one more tool or one more library. And you only have to call that function that behind the scenes it's going to do the work on a quantum computer. But the programmer won't know that what's going on in the background. At some point, this will be how quantum algorithms are going to be used by most people.
Wow, thank you so much, Claudia. Awesome answers. Thank you so much. Very interesting. I think that maybe we are going to debate in the future this topic, because your answers have opened our minds in order to understand that we need to be able to solve different kind of problems, as Lorraine said, because it's different to solve a problem in Ecuador, Tunisia, Mexico, and Zimbabwe, or the United States. It's different, as Lorraine said, and said before. And Sahar told us that quantum computing requires sensitive positions, and it's not for everyone. It's for very committed and passionate people who wants to be dedicated on this, to research, and need a very high profile for them. But it's interesting because if you pursue this opportunity, you are going to have more information, you are going to have a source to develop yourself. And Claudia has told us that it's very important to understand, first of all, classical computing, to know how to program classical computing, and then go for quantum computing if is your passion. But she told us that it's very essential to know about math, physics, and programming, which are the basics. And I would like to add something else related to math, because I come from from that field, statistics. One of things that because I fell in love with quantum computing is because they use a lot of statistics, and it's essential to know how statistics works, how statistics convert data into information in order to make decisions properly. And yes, thank you so much, guys. It's amazing, and we are almost starting in this event. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with these conversations with women in quantum computing. Claudia, tell me, please, and tell us, what is the most challenging project in quantum computing you have participated in?
Well, I have participated in some research groups, which has always been challenging. For example, when you arrive to a project that has already started, and you have to understand in order to contribute to its growth, which is very satisfying since you learn that you can help improve open source software. Well, in particular, the project I am thinking of is one that I be able to participate because of the Q of SF program, for which I was included as a co-author of a publication in the journal Quantum Science and Technology due to my contributions. Here, the main challenge was understanding what was already done and how I had to add my part to keep it fully functional and consistent. I did have to apply my knowledge of quantum computing, sure, but the challenge was understanding the code and creating well-done, well-structured, and well-tested code. Well, I can also think of another example, which is a research group made up of people from different institutions. In this case, I had to start from zero. That is from deciding which articles to start studying to see what we can learn. From there, maybe generate something new. In this case, I have dedicated myself to reading articles about quantum machine learning. And the biggest challenge is to understand the work from other people and seek to replicate the results. Well, and in addition to that, I must explain it to the rest of the group so that they also know what it is about, and among all the collaborate, we can all collaborate with new ideas. So that's a couple of examples in my case.
Wow, amazing. Claudia, thank you for sharing. Lorraine, what about you? What projects have challenged you in quantum computing?
For me, it was, I think, the first IBM quantum challenge that I participated in, because we're trying to do it as with a few of the other Zimbabweans that have been exploring the space. So for me, it was the most challenging thing because to start with, I was clueless what I was doing. I knew absolutely nothing. And, you know, when sometimes too much information is also not good because you don't know where to start. Like, you know, you have all this information and you don't know, should I start there? Should I start there? Should I start there? So that was overwhelming. And it so happened that at the same time when there was that challenge, I was also participating in my first QWorld workshop. So I was trying to learn at a faster pace so that I could, you know, contribute to the hackathon, because I didn't know that. At the same time, it was the rainy season, so it meant very limited hours with electricity. So it became quite, frustrating that, you're trying to balance that. Okay, I only have like 3 hours of electricity per day, so I need to make the most of it. So in those 3 hours, you want to learn. In those 3 hours, you want to contribute. So it was a lot, but at least I got to learn 1 or 2 things about quantum. I got to become more resistant to pressure because that was quite overwhelming.
Thank you for sharing, Lorraine. Yes, great experience. And Sahar, what about you?
Well, it's very reassuring to actually find out that I can relate to a lot of problems that Lorraine and Claudia have already shared. And I think that's good because we can always relate to each other's experiences and learn from each other. So yes, taking part in research is not easy because you would need an advanced set of skills. You need also motivation. You need the right group, the right supervisor, in order to come up with a good project in the end. And so I would say that my PhD maybe now is the most challenging project, but I'm still starting, so I cannot form an objective point of view about it. Maybe in 3 or 4 years I can answer the question. Maybe it would be the most challenging one. Maybe I will be on my next challenging project. But this is to say that starting is always challenging and everything seems difficult until it is done. So starting with quantum computing was not even easy because I think most of us started alone somehow in quantum computing. How many people do you know around you know about quantum computing when you first started? I personally started alone in Tunisia. I barely knew anyone, but still I wanted to rely on myself to learn. And then I started talking about it and then many people got interested in it, right? So it was challenging even from the learning process. And then the first hackathon was very difficult. I did not even know what I was doing in Johannesburg, right? But then it got easier. I solved many hackathons, I developed projects, I won awards. It's good, right? And then it becomes really easier and then you pick up the pace. Also for research, like my very first research project back in Tunisia, I didn't know what I was doing. But now, of course, I'm much easier at reading articles or papers and drawing conclusions and building on them in order to advance in your own personal projects. So that's I think the process for everything, right? So it's always challenging at the beginning, but then as you advance and as you invest more time and effort, you pick up the pace and you advance even further. One also experience which was not difficult, but I think it was very fruitful and very rewarding was teaching. So my very first educational experiences were always with QWorld. And I was mainly leading for workshops in different countries, but it was mainly the one workshop that was BQ Bronze, which was the introductory course for quantum computing. And that was not easy because you are teaching quantum computing when you're not even an expert. So any question could come in at any second and you are very embarrassed and you don't know how to answer that. And you just pray for, I don't know, long hours not to have a question that you cannot answer, which is very, very stressful. And I'm sure it happened to all of us, right? You are just teaching and then the question comes in, what is entanglement, or how is entanglement faster than light or something? And you have to take the time to explain everything. And sometimes you just say things that you are just repeating. You don't even understand yourself. So yeah, teaching also was not easy, but still it was very rewarding, and I'm very happy that through quantum computing I had the opportunity to reach out to many communities and to teach quantum computing even at an introductory level. But I think that was impactful in many people's lives, and it's great to see people actually being inspired by that and choosing to continue with quantum computing afterwards. So yeah, what I want to say is that this is not easy, but it's very rewarding and it's very exciting. So just the process of learning anything new or any technology, it seems very overwhelming at the beginning, but hopefully with the right effort and with time, it gets easier. Hopefully, that's what I said, because it's not always the case.
I think that Sahar makes us to have a very, very big smile because I think that Lorraine, Claudia, and me were reminding that every time when we have been teaching about quantum computing, we feel nervous, obviously, but because we are real, we are not, we are human being, and always we are learning. And as you said, uh, this process is challenging. It's challenging. It's challenging. It start. Is challenging during the process, and we continue learning. This is the most challenging goal, that we continue learning. And I had the opportunity that when I started, I met you guys. I met Sahar, Claudia, and Lorraine, and I tried to be committed to learn, and I try to find information and find help. But this is very important, to be in community. Don't be alone. Don't be alone. For that reason, Silver Quality Consulting started with this kind of quantum days. Today is our third quantum day of 2023, in order to educate people about this field, because we need to be in community. And when we start, everything is complicated. But when we still learning, we are finding this very interesting, and we feel that we can do it. We can do it as a team. And I think that is very, very rewarding, as you said before, rewarding, because we feel, wow, this is the difference between classical systems and quantum systems. And we say, wow, this is another world, but how can I support the classical world with new tools, with new knowledge? And we have time for questions from the audience. I would like to say thank you to the audience for being here, and thank you for everyone who is watching or replay on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any question, please feel free to write it in the chat, because we have time to answer your questions. And I would like to say thank you for being here. For my students from English Club, some of them are here. And thank you so much, Juan Fonseca, welcome. I see you here in this room. He is the president of PMA, chapter, Hudson Valley chapter in New York. And thank you so much for being here. You are very, very welcome. We feel very happy that you are here sharing with women, yes, women committed in quantum computing. Okay, let's go for the first question here. You can answer this question as you want, in the order that you want. How can I join the community as undergrad? How can I join the community as undergrad?
Well, I think a great start is to participate in challenges, for example, that companies like IBM and Penny Lane and others organize every year, sometimes several times a year. So you have the opportunity to learn almost at your own pace, because they define some problems, and you have the chance to solve these problems, and also have the opportunity to ask to mentors or people with more experience. So in that way, you can be obligated to study, to search about the specific things. And I think that's an excellent manner to start. Also, in that kind of events, you know people that is also interested in this topic. So from there, you can start to create your own group or just know people about, with the same interests.
Thank you, Claudia. Someone else?
Well, yes, I really think that challenges and hackathons especially will help you to start discovering the community, because you will be connected even virtually with a wide community around the world, people who are also still learning like you are, and so you will be together solving challenges and getting to know each other. You most probably even along the way you'll make friends, because it happened to all of us. We started as developers, and we found this community to be very good and very vibrant and very welcoming, and we ended up with friends even after hackathons. So I think the community is very open, like in hackathons, but also there are a lot of associations like Keyword or else that also provide the educational workshops, and through that you can also still get to know many people and to connect with mentors and senior developers and researchers in the community. And eventually, little by little, event after event, you'll find yourself actually developing your network. Also, let's not forget about virtual networks, even social media like LinkedIn, or let's say groups on Discord, on Slack. They're also very, very useful in order to extend your network. And also, as an undergrad, if you want to take this seriously, then I think this is the best opportunity to start to orient your studies and your, let's say, career towards quantum computing. I mean, undergrad, so you still have the opportunity to do a master that is special in quantum computing. That's even better to be part of the community, because now you are taking this seriously, you have the knowledge, and most probably that will give you access to professional opportunities. And of course, if you would like to pursue a PhD afterwards, or whether you want to start your career after your master's, then most probably once you choose quantum computing, then you will have access to the professional network, but also to the opportunities.
Thank you, Bahar. Lorraine, what is
Mm.
your information about community as undergrad?
I just to add on to what has already been mentioned, I wanted to mention that, you know, it's very important to be part of a community, because what has helped me to get so far is through community effort. You know, you ask someone, they help you with this, because sometimes you can't, it's not a one-man job learning quantum. So there are 1,000 papers, there are so many resources that you could get overwhelmed. So at least when you get connected to a community, you get to learn how to, where you are, you get a better starting point, because eventually you have to narrow it down maybe into, because quantum is very broad, and I don't think someone could do like every single thing in quantum, because there's cryptography, there's machine learning, there are so many avenues. But at least if you get maybe a hint and a sense of each avenue, you can then make an informed decision what you want to narrow it down to. But whatever stage you are, whether starting, whether as an undergrad or else, it's important to be part of a community, because you get help. Like Wendo was mentioning how she has been helped by Claudia. I've been helped by Sarah so many times also, you know, and it has helped, it has made it easier. Like, you know what Sarah mentioned, that, you know, it can be hard. It's something new. It's something that you're starting. So when, you know, you start and you're part of a community, you also get to learn that, okay, at least I'm not the only one who thinks that this is so hard, because be part of a community, either at your school or internationally, online, wherever. If you can be part of a community, it would be very helpful for your learning journey as an undergrad, or any stage you want to learn quantum at.
Yes, thank you so much, wonderful women. Be a part of a community. This is the message. Be part of a community in order to grow your knowledge. We have another question from Jorge Andres in Ecuador. what are the activities where quantum computing could be used? Oh, very interesting question too.
I can go
Yes,
first.
please. Thank you.
Yes. So for the fields of applications for quantum computing, I can of course name a few, but we are still learning about how this technology can be useful as we are advancing in research and as we are building the machine itself. But I would say that problems of optimization and are actually the main not the main application, but it's one of the most important applications, are problems of optimization. There's also cryptography and security. There are a lot of applications in that, and I think it's the most advanced field of application of quantum computing as of today. But still, of course, we can still have a lot to see. We can still see where the technology will go in the future. Also, machine learning and AI will benefit a lot from quantum computing, at least theoretically. We are still need to explore that. But it's a very active area of research, and there are very good results on that. So most probably also in the future we will see quantum computing being tightly connected to artificial intelligence and machine learning in a way. So yes, and also chemistry and drug discovery. So the main reason why we started building quantum computing was to imitate nature and to understand more of the behavior of particles. And why we want to understand them? Because we would like to control them and actually come up with new formulas and with new material and with new formulas. So also, I would say the field of pharmaceuticals, the industries are also taken a big part in the research, in driving the research, mainly because it's going to be very, very beneficial for the growth of their industries. So I hope that answers. And now, of course, Claudia and Lorraine, they are more on the application and software side. So most probably they will be more helpful in answering this question. I'm more on the technology and hardware development side.
Yeah, well, I agree with you all mentioned. I just would like to add that one of the first persons that come up with the idea of a quantum computing was Richard Feynman. And he told that if we want to study nature, we need a way to simulate that nature, and nature is quantum. So that's why we are working in creating this quantum computing, because that's what we want. We want to simulate in a better, closest way the nature. And for example, chemistry is a very good example for this. But of course, the optimization algorithms that we see that are working in quantum computing is also part of the nature, right? Because we see that nature is able to optimize processes. So we want to extrapolate this idea to more complex processes that human made, and things like logistics, for example, is an example of this kind of optimization that we can make. So in general, what we want is to simulate nature.
Yeah, I think just to add on, I think Sai and Claudia have really talked about most and everything that's actually there in terms of activities which fields are thriving. Like I mentioned that, like there's just a lot going on. Like there are so many avenues to quantum that you might not be able to know everything in detail. I know that quantum is also being used in finance, in optimization. I've also read about quantum and its use in music. I've no knowledge or any information in that to comment, but I'm just mentioning that, it's maybe more of the not so obvious fields that you might find it. There are also games that are being developed, either educational or otherwise, maybe it's something to read into. I'm not sure how they are well structured, but I'm just trying to, broaden your view in terms of other areas and activities where quantum has been emerging also.
Wow, amazing answers. Thank you so much. Our brain is getting bigger. Yes, I think so. And I would like to add that something that catch my attention with quantum computing was to act or imitate the nature, as Claudia said before, and for the speed, for the help that quantum computing is in the field of processing data. I come from computer science field too, and we face the problem to process a big amount of data, which is known as big data. And the problem with classical computing is the time of processing of the big amount of data. And quantum computing is a very, very good opportunity to work in optimization of that time of processing data in big data. I would like to add that. And all the fields that you have mentioned are very, very, very interesting fields. That the most interesting thing is that those are starting, and we have the opportunity to go deep into the contributions for that kind of fields. And wow, amazing questions. And we have another question from India. How quantum computing is useful in the field of artificial intelligence? Who wants to answer that question? How quantum computing is useful in field of artificial intelligence?
Well, I think it's a field of research. I mean, there exists the well-known quantum machine learning. Of course, there also exists the quantum artificial intelligence. But as I understand, we are still working in finding a way that this branch dedicated in quantum computing come a better way, or that has an advantage over the classical versions of these technologies. But we are not, as I understand, there is no advantage just yet. But that's why a lot of people is working in researching how to overcome all the problems that we have in quantum machine learning. But I hope someday quantum machine learning is going to have an advantage over the classical version, or at least have to be able to solve different problems that classical computers cannot, or the classical machine learning, classical artificial intelligence cannot do today.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Okay, now we are going to go, I don't know if Sahara or Lorraine, would you like to add something else?
I don't have much to add, to be honest. It's not my field of specialty, so I cannot extend the conversation. But as far as I know also is that it's still in the research phase, so we cannot say yes, there is actually a coordination between quantum computing and artificial intelligence in the way that quantum computing can be advantageous in advancing the field. But there is a lot of effort in that direction, and most probably something will come up in the end because the science behind it is valid. So I think that with the engineering effort, we would find a way to connect both fields.
Yes, thank you so much for your comments, guys. Now we are going to continue with the final part of the video from Elisa. We're going to hear from her the answers to those questions that we shared before.
And well, I'll continue with the other questions. So in terms of if I consider learning quantum is essential nowadays, I would totally agree. I think that it's definitely an essential thing. Many people would say that, hey, it's still far away. We have some years still until perhaps this would be used, like, I don't know, more frequently, I would say. But yeah, I think that the before we learn about it would be the better, so we can get used to this. We can start learning about some concepts that are really important. So anytime if someone asks you like what quantum computing is, you would be like, hey, I know that. What is this? I know, for example, what is interference, superposition, entanglement. Yeah, some applications. It has so many that are fantastic. So definitely I would say that start learning like step by step about it would be really useful for you for now and the future as well, in the workforce or anything else. And in terms of what is the most challenging project in quantum computing, so since I have not participated in other sort of hackathons, I'll definitely say Girls in Quantum. So we have encountered many challenges in terms of age, for example, like, hey, you're 17 years old, and how you're doing this. I founded Girls in Quantum when I was 16, so it was like, what are you doing? Like things like that. People were telling me to that. So, but I would say that at the end of that, or now, with the team, we're like realizing, hey, we can reverse that to our advantage, right? So we can say like, hey, we're a group of teenagers, a group of girls that we want to make a change, that we want to involve more females in the field of quantum computing and STEM. So that's like now or kind of a slogan, trying to reverse like our challenge. So that's has been definitely a total experience for us, learning experience. And yeah, so excited for all the things that are coming, challenges, experiences, and be able to share this with more females and also girls to be involved. And well, besides other challenges that we have is that we do this entirely like voluntarily, so with zero funding, honestly. So it has been all through hard work from our students, from our ambassadors, from the 10 countries that they are. So it has been definitely such a great experience for us. And well, in terms of the other question about what I would say in terms of people who might be joining quantum computing, like some things that could be interest about the importance of quantum computing, my advice would be try it. Try. I had the opportunity to look at this program called Introduction to Quantum Computing. I was like, what is quantum computing? I just knew computing and introduction. So I was like, what's this? But I wanted to try. I tried, I joined the program. So yeah, definitely look for the opportunities out there. Quantum computing, Girls in Quantum, sorry, could be really interesting for you as well. So if you want to, for example, look at our posts on Instagram, so we are Girls in Quantum. If you want to connect with me in LinkedIn, Elisa Torres Dornay, or perhaps any other opportunities. We have also, like, for example, webinars, posts, videos, and things like that. We have also our some resources right there in our website, for example, educational resources that could be useful for you. So definitely try. That's the most important thing. And yeah, be curious. I think that there are many discoveries right now. There are applications that really like blow my mind in terms of, for example, medicine or pharmaceutics. It's really like, wow, so excited to see like the many things going on. Of course, the things will require time in order to be like in our real life right now. But yeah, there's definitely a long path to go, but also it's exciting to do things right now, look for a community to support you. That's definitely something good. And also look for women in the field. I think that this panel is such a great initiative in order to show more women in this field, like what they are doing, and yeah, definitely share our perspective and experiences. That's the best for me. And yeah, I appreciate the invitation. I'm more than happy to participate in this panel. And yeah, hopefully we can see in the future. Yeah, have a good afternoon or good rest of the day. Thank you so much, and bye.
Thank you so much, Elisa. You are a wonderful woman. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your commitment with this event. Yes, I feel so excited. We are almost finishing, and we have the maybe the final request for our panelists, which is a little bit difficult, as Sahar said me before, but I think that they have the information, the appropriate information for all of us. What advice would you share with women about the importance of quantum computing? I would like to start with Lorraine.
Maybe I would start with mentioning how we have discussed about it being essential and it being more of a yes, no, in between type of situation. But my advice would be, if you are passionate about it, if you are interested in the field, go for it. It will be hard. I was so happy when Sai and Claudia mentioned how they also had challenges at the beginning. Because at the beginning, for me, at some point, I remember I really wanted to cry, and I asked myself, like, what's the point? Why am I even learning this? But I think this was a very happy moment for me to discover I'm not the only one. So it's like a normal phase. So what I'm trying to say is, if you also go through that, it's okay. I mean, I'm happy I continued with this, because I would not have met such amazing people. I would have not have made international friends, which is such an amazing opportunity. So if this is something that you are interested in, go for it. It's not going to be easy. Nothing is really easy, but if it's something you'd like, go for it. Always reach out. Some of the things we struggle with is asking for help, and then we want to do everything alone, and then it becomes hard. So like in this field, it's a community effort. Like Saha mentioned, it's a really great community. Like you meet so many amazing people. So when you need help, ask for it, because that is the only way for you to thrive. Because if I'm standing and I put you on my shoulders, then you see further, you help the next person, and in the end you see way further than you do as an individual. So if this is something like, pursue it, connect with people, and always ask for help when you need it, because that's the way for you to succeed.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. And now is the turn of Claudia.
Sure. Well, as Lorraine said, if you like it, go for it. In general, not only with quantum computing, but let's focus on quantum computing. In this field, there are many paths that can be taken, and almost no matter what discipline you come from, you can make your way in QC. For example, there are quantum games in which graphic artists, musicians, storytellers, and programmers join their talents to create games related to quantum computing or quantum physics. There are also companies that apply quantum computing to finance, for example, where economists that participate must understand quantum computing at a certain level. Also in logistics, as mentioned before, quantum computing is used to solve optimization problems. In general, more and more problems are discovered that can be solved with quantum computing. So that's why I mentioned that almost no matter from which field you come from. Women always give a different perspective to disciplines, so we must be there. regardless of other people's opinions. It is important to mention that there are currently explicit efforts to support women, and we must take advantage of them. For example, I participated in a mentoring program for women called Women in Quantum, organized by One Quantum. Another example is a subsidiary of Q World called Q Women. Some universities programs also give preference to minorities, and well, women are considered a minority. So you should be encouraged to apply to all of these programs since they seek to support us. Quantum computing needs women, and we must support each other and never stop asking. There will always be someone willing to answer.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And finally, Sahar, what's your advice?
So I pretty much agree with Lorraine and Claudia about the importance of, if you really love this, go for it. There's nothing to be scared about. It's completely normal to feel lost and frustrated at first, but it gets easier with time and invest and effort, but also with the supportive system that you build along the way. But I also would like to focus on what Claudia has mentioned. It's the presence of women in technology in general, but especially in quantum computing. This is a newly emerging field, whether it's in research or in industry, and women can bring a lot at a very early stage. Because I would say it's the intuition that we bring, it's the sensitivity to society, it's the strong ethics that we have usually with everything that we do. There's a lot that we can contribute to. And it's not just technical. You can be also on the scientific communication side. You can be in the marketing side. You can be in the sales side. You can also be in the technical side. It's just a job like any other job. If you just give it the right time and the right effort, and you have the right support system, then most probably you would go to achieve your goals. But also, women presence is very, very important, because it's very sad and frustrating if you find yourself the only girl in the lab working on it. I think many girls went through this, right? It actually was one of the shocks I had in Europe, because strangely enough, we don't have that in Tunisia. In Tunisia, it's the other way around. There is more women in science than men, which is, I think it's the only case in the world, or the second case in the world. So coming to Europe and finding very few women working in technology was actually why. So it's actually very exciting. It's just like any other knowledge. It's not learning. The learning process or the learning curve is the same for everyone. Just give it time, give it dedication, find the right people, and you will most probably achieve your goals. And it's just a journey that will most probably, if you are dedicated enough, of course, that will take you 30 to 40 years of your career. So yes, find the be a good representation, and also have the best representations by your sides, because that's how you make it a joyful journey, long journey, hopefully. And I think this is the case for every one of us here, right? So we love this field, but we're also here for the people that we found along the way. For me, it was very, very important, and this is something that I really want to continue to work on in the future, because it's very, very valuable. Otherwise, I would have abandoned the field as soon as I found out it's actually difficult and not as easy or as fun as it seemed at first. So yeah, I hope that everyone will be able to achieve what they want, whatever they want for their career. Everything is a valid choice. Everything is a good career if for whatever you choose. But I hope that I will see more women being included. They are motivated to do this. And yes, I think we have a place for everyone. So hopefully this will be a bigger community in the future.
Thank you so much, Sahar, Claudia, and Lorraine. It was awesome. Thank you so much for your amazing role as a panelist in conversations with women in quantum computing organized by Silver Quality Consulting. Thank you so much to all the participants for your attendance. And it's time to take a picture with the attendance code who can open your cameras. You can have your cameras on, please. I can see Jorge Andres. Let me see, Jamirelis. And can see one. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I am going to take a picture for the event. Smile. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to share with you our contact from Silver Quality Consulting. Yes, and yes, remember that if you want to know more about quantum computing, follow us, please. Follow us to be noticed about our future events. And thank you so much again, Sahar, Claudia, Lorraine, and Elena, who was with us. Thank you so much, and enjoy this event and enjoy everything. And you were not able to be here live, you are going to have the recordings of this event. See you soon, and thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, guys.